I'd like to call the meeting to order. If we could please stand and say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Kim, can you please take the roll?
Councilmember Lowenthal.
Wouldn't miss it.
Councilmember James.
Here.
Councilmember Chang.
Richard, you're sounding like John.
Don't scare me.
Yes, I'm here.
Councilmember Burnett.
Oh, I'm here too.
Mayor Staton.
Rather be doing this than counting votes in Florida. Okay, we have one matter on the agenda for tonight, which is the election of the new mayor and vice mayor. But before we do that, I would like to take about 30 seconds here and just say thank you to somebody that has really made my life phenomenally wonderful in this last year in this role as mayor. And she's outside right now in the lobby setting up, so if Linda can please come in.
Come on, Linda. Come on.
Linda, could you hit the podium over here for a second? Yeah. The audience is right. Please fill out a card, state your name for the record. Where are you from? I just wanted to take a brief moment while I was still grasping to the reins of power to say thank you very much to Linda. Linda is the council secretary, and really basically her job this entire last year was to keep me off the rocks and out of trouble, which, as she knows repeatedly, was not an easy thing to do, between telling me when I needed to be someplace, what I needed to sign, and make sure that things actually kind of moved along. So Linda, it's the great deal of my thanks and deep admiration for the great job you've done for me and for this council that I want to say thank you.
Thank you. It's been fun. Now can I go out? Thank you. It really has been quite an exciting year. And you can still email me every day.
That is very good to know. Without that, we would have zero communication at times. So much, much appreciated. Thank you very much. Now, without much further ado, I'd like to get to the main event of the evening, so to speak. I'd like to open nominations for mayor. Do we have a nomination?
I'd like to nominate Sandra James for mayor.
I'd like to second that.
In that case, all in favor, please vote with your lights.
Do you want me to?
If you would like to.
I do that every time, don't I? I don't think you can vote for
Motion
yourself.
carries with Councilmember James abstaining.
Great. In that case, we now have a new mayor.
This is a night where we'll all be changing seats. It gets a little silly, so bear with us here. The first thing I get to do is to open nominations for vice mayor.
I'd like to nominate Richard Lowenthal.
I'd like to second that nomination.
A shock.
What a shock.
I'll accept.
All right, please vote with your lights.
Motion carries with Councilmember Lowenthal abstaining.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Richard.
Thank you.
You guys want to switch?
Which one has the P under
You
it?
guys want to switch? Just
All I can say is I hope we don't take another vote, or I'm somewhere over here.
This is an opportunity at this time for those of us on the council to make some remarks regarding our outgoing mayor. So I'm going to kind of start from this end. Don, would you like to start?
Sure. Thank you, John, for a very productive and enjoyable year as mayor. And it seems there's always a lot going on in Cupertino, and John's done a really great job of keeping us on track. and we've always had a lot of fun waiting to find out how he's going to respond when we take the roll each week.
Same here. John, thank you for leading the city very ably during this year, and it has been a very productive year for the city. I think we've accomplished a lot. This is a year that has seen major changes on our senior staff, and I think that the whole process was taken care of very wholesomely, I guess, and that it was under your leadership that we were able to do that. And also I think the last town hall meeting that we had a few weeks ago, that was a real affirmation of the direction that the city is going in. So thank you very much for suggesting and promoting that town hall meeting and for leading the city this year. Thank you, John.
Richard.
Well, John, thanks. John has been a mentor to me, but I think there are two really important contributions that he's made to us. One is that he's pulled us together. You know, we had a fun election. Michael and I were in the race together not long ago, a year ago today. Immediately after that, John pulled us together as a team, and we've operated as a team every day since I've been here in the last year, and it's due to John's leadership. John can put those things behind the group and can lead us to work together for you. The other thing that John does very well, and I will thank him forever for it, is that he brings some humility to us. He adds a little bit of silliness to every meeting, starts right out with the roll call, so we don't take ourselves too seriously, because we have a way of getting very officious, and we have all of these things, agendas and rules to follow, and John just makes it a little more human, a little more fun, and reminds us that we're just like anybody else in the city. So I really appreciate that, John. I think you've done a great service to us.
Thank you very much.
Well, John, let me think here. John has added humor. And before we go further, there's some seats out here in the front. Please come forward and take them. And I know there's some seats over there, so don't be shy. John has brought humor to each of our council meetings, which is some evenings sorely needed. And he also moves the meeting along very well, including cutting me off from making council reports at the end of the meeting, which he's sort of become notorious for. I will talk a little bit about that a little later, John. One of the things that I will always remember John for is he had a vision when he was first elected that he wanted to have a community congress, and he talked about that at the State of the City at the very beginning of his mayoralty year. And just a few weeks ago, that actually came to fruition. And while I would have preferred it not to have been on Friday night and all day Saturday, selfishly, it actually turned to be something very, very special. And it brought this community together for, I think, the third year we've done this now. But with a different agenda this time. And this was a very open community congress, those of you that were there, and I know many of you here tonight were there. It was really an opportunity for us to listen to the community, to the things that were going well and the things that were not going well, and the changes and the visions that our community had, and a time for us to interact as well as the staff one-on-one with everyone who chose to come and spend their weekend with us. And so I think if there's one defining aspect of your year, John, I think that would be it for me. It's something that gave us, I know I talked with Dave this morning, that we're going to use to start setting new goals or looking at the goals we already have and seeing if they match with our community's interests and goals. And so I thank you very much for that, for your vision in making that happen, and for making our council meetings fun. And now I'm going to ask you to come to the podium with me. We have some gifts for you.
I think I can find my way.
I'm going to start off with a gift for John.
Difference in heights here.
I like it this way. I like it this way. I'm always the shortest one. This is a gift for John from the council, and it's a traditional gift, and I'm big on tradition. So this is from your council. It's a plaque for you denoting your year as mayor and the contribution you made, and your very own gavel.
Oh.
Thank you very much, John. And our city manager has something for you. 'Cause 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 'cause
And it has been a great pleasure for me to work with you. I'm fairly new here, and John made me feel right at home, and you did an outstanding job. Go down in my book as one of the great mayors I've worked with, so I appreciate it very much. On behalf of the employees of the city, we'd like to present you with a small token.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
I appreciate
Pleasure.
it.
And now I get to have a little fun, John,
Okay.
because it's tradition in this city for the vice mayor to give a personal gift to the outgoing mayor. And I have a couple for John, and I have to explain a little bit first that a couple of the issues that John went over and over and over and over and over and over again with us this year were the comfort level of the chairs you're all sitting in. How many people that are sitting in these chairs find them uncomfortable? John would say this. See, are they worth $80,000 in the current budget to replace? All right. John wanted to replace these chairs for $80,000. I didn't want to. He wouldn't let me vote on the budget because of that, and ultimately was a good guy and cut it out of the budget because we needed that money to go toward our library. So I have a special gift. Dave, would you help me with this for you, John? We have a chair for you that you can take with you everywhere you go. It actually folds up into a nice little carrying case. So as you move from job to job, you can take it with you.
It's hilarious.
It is. It is aerodynamically designed to fit your body, and as you grow and change, you may bring it back, and we will fix it. And you may wonder how we got it to match your body. Well, as I was giving my council reports one night and you fell asleep, we did a body cast, and we fit it to you. So I hope you like that. In addition to that, while you are sitting in your chair wherever you go, I want you to have something to read. Here's a binder of all the minutes of all the council meetings that you had when you were mayor, for you to read at your leisure. And there's a section on council reports so that you can review those. And then there's a special section on Sandy's council reports for you to read. Whenever you. And thirdly, John, there's a little cup holder there, you see. So from me, here are your own, very masculine, for your new home and your new life, some very nice glasses. And I wanted to have them engraved with the logo and something to say about you. But when I went to the engraver, he said I had too much to say, and so they couldn't be done in time. So they are coming, and this is something to keep them company until they get here. Thank you for all your help and all your work, John.
Thank you very much. Excellent. Well, when you sit up there and all of a sudden you see an entire room full of people, you kind of get a little nervous. Usually you only fill these council chambers when folks are a little angry about something. So it's really nice to see smiling faces and applause and good words. And Sandy, you are the soul of brevity. Sandy and I have often teased each other about long-winded council reports and everything else, and she has been phenomenally wonderful and playful, and just want to thank her very much. And I don't know how I'm going to be able to read all of the things you want to talk about, but I will find a way somehow. It's also good to know that since I didn't read these at all during the year, I can take these home and actually read them now. Kim, sorry about that, but you always suspected, now you know. Okay. You know, when you're mayor, you get a chance to kind of reflect a little bit about some of the things about your community you really value and some of the things that have kind of come your way to bring you to this point. And I've reflected on really two things, and that is friends and also the sense of community. I look around the audience tonight and I see a lot of people that I've been very blessed to count as friends throughout the years that I've been a member of this town, and also within on the council itself. And I am phenomenally deeply grateful to each and every one of you that has helped me achieve this position and helped me be a good mayor this last year, and also that has continued to help this community be a great place to live. And that kind of segues into the next thing, which is really what's this all about? And it's all really, to me, really about a sense of community. And I tried to note that when I gave the State of the City speech last January. That was kind of one of my themes that I thought separated Cupertino from kind of the other places that are in our county. And truly, those are in large part other places. This here, though, is really much a town and a community And it's because of the people here in this room and the others that are watching tonight and that have played a role in making this a great community that again, this is a wonderful place to live and to work and to be a mayor of. And so to that end, I want to thank each of you. I want to thank the people also that are part of this town for kind of coming together and making this a special place. Next, I also want to say thank you to the staff. I swear I didn't drive off all of our senior staff this last year. Well, it just seems that way. On the other hand, I do feel very good that we've had a transition among our senior members in this staff. We've had a lot of people coming and going. And by and large, we're still holding together as a town, and frankly, we will be better off in the long run for new blood, new ideas, new challenges that are going to be facing us. Our senior staff and our staff as a whole is phenomenally high quality, and I want to thank each and every one of you for the roles that you've played this last year, the support you've given to me and to our council and to our community as a whole. Without you all, this town, again, would just be a place without any sense of identity. So on behalf of myself, thank you very much. And last but certainly not least is I want to thank my other council members. You know, you go into this job and you think, God, what's this year going to be like? Am I going to have dissension? Is there going to be fighting? Are we going to be torn apart? None of that happened. I work with 4 of the most honest, most loyal to this community, and also some of the brightest people that it's ever been my pleasure to work with. Each of those 4 other members cares deeply about this town. They express that each and every night they're here at council meetings, and each and every day they're doing work out in the community beyond these times. And again, I just think that we're phenomenally blessed as a town to have each of you, and I'm very grateful for the time we spent together and the support again you've given me this last year. It's been a very good year. We've accomplished quite a lot, and we couldn't have done it without us all working together as a team. So thank you again on behalf of myself and the community. And frankly, that's about it. Again, I just want to say thanks. This has been an incredible experience, a wonderful year. I think we live in a great town, and God bless us all. Thank you for coming tonight.
And now it's time for the oaths of office to the mayor and the vice mayor.
Guess if the mayor would come down to the marker here, please.
I solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic. To bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the State of California and to the United States. That I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and I will well and faithfully discharge these duties upon which I am about to enter for the city of Cupertino. Thanks.
Vice Mayor, please.
Short phrases.
I solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I'll bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California. I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. That I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter for the city of Cupertino. Thank you.
this time, the council gets to make any comments they have to make, and then we will open it to the public, so you can think about if you want to come up and make some comments also. Don?
Well, it's been a great year, and I'm looking forward to another one. It's been a delight to work with this council for the past year. Actually, this has been for the 7 years I've been here. And, there's always a lot happening on Cupertino. We've got senior centers, we've got libraries, we've got trails, and it all makes the community a better place to live. And it's really been very enjoyable. And again, I'd like to echo John's comments about working with my colleagues. It's been a pure joy this year. It really has.
I echo Don's sentiment. I think that we've had a wonderful year this past year, and we have some big projects coming up this year. And I think as a council, we will work very well at it. I think we'll have a lot of fun. And I've worked with Sandy not only on city council but on school board before, and she's been, board president before, and she's a real pro at this. And so it'll be real fun having her lead this council this year.
I'm just looking forward to a great year. I think I've said about as much as I need to, but I just want to congratulate both Sandy and Richard. I think you're both going to be really good leaders for this town, and looking forward to a great year ahead for both of you. So, thanks.
Richard.
That'd be me.
That'd be you.
Well, I want to thank a couple of people that are, some are here, some are not. We'll make this into the Academy Awards, see how long I can stretch it out. But first of all, most important to me, when I decided to run for office, my family was very hesitant about it because of the demand it would place on my time and take from them. And it does take a lot of time. I'm gone probably 3 nights a week, but my family has been very supportive, and I want to thank my wife Ellen, my daughter Lindsay, my daughter at home Kimmy. Hello at home, but they've been a wonderful support to me, and it's not always easy because I'm gone a lot. So thank you very much. Secondly, I owe a lot of gratitude to my biggest supporter in the community. He calls me probably twice a week to offer advice. And he was there through my election, and he's watching TV now, I'm sure. He has always been there with cheering me on, and that's Michael Gottwald. So hello, Michael, at home, and I wish you could be here tonight. He's not feeling well tonight, but thanks for all the support. And here in the City Council, I have to, there's some interesting debts I have. One to Michael Chang. He kind of created his own competition when I was in Leadership Cupertino, and he lectured to us about how serving in the City Council is a form of community service, because I was looking for ways to do community service. And Michael brought that new vision to me. I had thought of politicians as a bunch of greedy people out there for themselves, looking for votes and basically kind of on a major ego trip, but Michael by himself really changed that view for me, and I really appreciate that, and I think he's completely correct. Secondly, to John Statton, who I really got to know in Leadership Cupertino, and he taught me how to campaign. And Michael may not like that because I ran a great campaign, but it was completely at John's instruction. He had good books to recommend. He had good ideas about how to campaign, and I was totally clueless. So, John, I owe you that thanks, and it worked very well. Finally, to Don Burnett, Don and I have had some areas that we work really deeply, and that's primarily on walkability, on a community where you can ride your bicycle around, where you can't get run over as often as you might otherwise, where we care about crowding and we care about growth. Don has shown me the way on that, and Don has always been outspoken on those issues, always passionate and committed to doing the right thing for you. He works very hard at it. I think he's the only one here willing to attend ABAG meetings over in Alameda. I'm not sure you're even on that committee, but I know you're our representative there, and in all the transportation meetings with MTC and VTA, and Dawn is your hardworking council member here. Finally, to Sandy, who's the one that got me in this trouble, I think, in the first place. She pushed me to run. I was a high-tech guy. I used to, in my off time, I'd play golf, and in my on time, I was a workaholic. And Sandy really encouraged me to run. At her little table over there at Hobie's, she's probably introduced me to 1,000 people, all of which I know by hug, I think. But it's very good. Sandy is willing to put in the effort to get more people engaged in the process, and it's very, very important that people here get engaged in the process and go to things like Leadership Cupertino, become commissioners. It's people like Sandy that kind of get you going and get you out of your comfort zone and make you do something as difficult as running for office and putting up with all this political stuff. I want to say one more thing, that I demand a recount tonight because I think I should be mayor. and I want every vote counted by hand and see if I should really, in fact, be mayor. Thanks. Thank you, everybody.
Didn't you just know somebody had to make a joke about that tonight? Richard, I want to congratulate you. I am looking forward to working with you. Richard and I have already had one meeting at Hobie's to talk about our plans working together for the year and maybe the way we would work as mayor and vice mayor. And we came away, I think, very energized and with very similar goals and passion. So I think it's going to be a very good year. And I would also like to commend this council. I talk often about this council, and what I normally say is we are 5 extremely independent council members, and I think even our new city manager would have to agree to that. But everyone cares about the job. We do it in our own way, and there are 5 of us because we're different, and I think that's very good. But, we speak our piece, we make our vote, and then we move on. And really, in the area of council matters, there is no rancor or hard feelings. There's a professional mutual trust and respect. And I think that serves this city very, very well. And I'm proud to serve with this group of guys up here. So thank you very much. And thank you for electing me as mayor. I'm really kind of astounded at how excited I am to be mayor, and I've told a couple people this, so bear with me, because I'm not really into titles, and so I kind of have thought a lot about why is it kind of exciting, and I think there's a couple of reasons. First of all, I came to this city when I was 15 from New York, little pudgy blonde girl, and I have to reflect back and think, my gosh, and all that time I went to Fremont High School. Who would have ever thought that I'd be sitting up here as mayor of the very same city, and that's kind of exciting to me. Secondly, it's hard not to feed off the excitement of this community. And this community really cares about their elected officials, and they really care about the city and what we do and how we work. And it's very nice as I spend my time amongst all of you that you are energized and you are pleased and you are excited. And that kind of motivates us a lot to continue to do what we do. I have some passions and some goals for the coming year. I spent some time with our new city manager today kind of talking about those, and he's still here tonight, so I guess that's a good sign because I can be a little overwhelming at times and a little exhausting. I want to just share with you a couple of those things and also talk about some of the things that are ongoing in the city. A lot of this we'll cover in the State of the City address, which will be coming at the end of January, but I think this is a good time to kind of share with the community, those of you here tonight and those of you who are watching on TV, a lot of what's going on here and some of the things that I hope to motivate to happen while I'm mayor. That is the one thing you do get to do as mayor. We're still 1 of 5 votes up here, so there really isn't a big change, except that you do have some leadership and that you can move along some programs. And I've already talked to the Sheriff's Department, which is here tonight. Thank you very much for coming. I'm very close to the Sheriff's Department and am pleased to say that they do an outstanding job for our community. One of the things that I'd really like to do is to get the young people in our community more involved with municipal government so that they have a feel that they have more to say, that we listen more to what they have to say, and that they can become an important part of the city, because I don't think that they feel that way now, and particularly the teen population feels a little disenfranchised. This council's working very hard on that. We're trying to get a skate park. We're looking into a teen center. We have adopted in partnership with Cupertino Chamber of Commerce, which is here this evening also, and thank you for being here, and De Anza College, teen leadership program, which this is our second year in doing that, and we're working very hard and making I think some good progress in bringing our teen population more active and letting them have a feel that we really care, because we really do care about them. One of the things I have asked the Sheriff's Department to look into, and they are very excited about, and this came from my son, as a matter of fact, was an idea from him about a year ago that I thought was a good one. After seeing a tape of what the Oakland Police Department had done with the teens in their community, and some of you may have seen that. And it was basically just to sit down, roll up your sleeves, and let's talk. You know, the deputies and the other people within the Sheriff's Department, and the teens will have an opportunity to just sit down together and talk about who I am and what my job is, and this is what I do, and this is how you make me feel, and this is how you don't make me feel, and a way to get to know each other better, to communicate better, to open lines of communications, and hopefully to foster a better understanding, and maybe for some young people to understand that there are opportunities for careers in that field also. And so I am pleased that the Sheriff's Department has looked upon that very favorably, and as has our city manager, and we've already got a tape from Oakland, and we're making contact with Jerry Brown, and we're going to be moving forward with that very quickly. Another thing in the area of youth services and teens that I would like to do, and the incoming president of the Chamber of Commerce, Bill Sullivan, and I have talked, and he's very excited about doing this also, is to have a teen job fair, which we will start this year. And the Teen Academy, Tomorrow's Leaders Today, is interested in being involved in organizing that, and Joe Hamilton from the Fremont Union High School District is interested in being a part of it, and so we already have a good foundation. And that would be something where our business community, which has a hard time finding employees, and our teen community, which wants to work and has a hard time sometimes matching up or finding out where those jobs are, and also our volunteer services, where we have an opportunity for young people to discover some careers and to do some community services, where we would go to the different high school campuses in the city and have a job fair. Also, people like me who are actively involved in human resources would spend some time teaching how to fill out an application, how to apply for a job, what are employers looking for. And so the curriculum of that school is also interested in spending some time preparing young people. And Martha Cantor is also interested in maybe involving the De Anza students in that. So I think that could be very exciting, and something we'll start this year, and that hopefully will be favorably accepted and successful, and we will continue on with that. Another thing that I'd like to do this year is to bring back something that Marshall Goldman started when he was on this city council, and I was fortunate enough to be on the school board. And Michael, you actually might have been on the school board at that time. And it was Marshall's vision, and it kind of started and then stopped, and so I'd like to take it up again and refine it a little bit, that the policymakers of the city council, those are the city council, and the city manager would meet on a quarterly basis with the Board of Education from the elementary school district and the high school district and the Foothill De Anza board, along with the president of the school and the superintendents of schools, so that those public agencies in education and in city government could be working closely on areas that we can collaborate on, because it is my bias that you have to maximize public dollars and public facilities, and the way you do that is you don't have the high schools building 3 libraries and the city building a library in the same year and nobody talking to each other. So hopefully by doing that, we will come together on a quarterly basis and talk about the things that are being done in each of our areas and how we can collaborate, how we can maximize facilities and dollars and efforts so that we're not all doing the same thing, but we're making better progress there. And so we will be starting that shortly after the first of the year as our first meeting with those particular elected officials and the CEOs of their organizations. And I think that that could bring us some really good results. One of the things that I really want to suggest that I talked with our city manager about today, and Richard and I discussed last week, is that I believe it is really time for us to move forward on looking at our general plan. As we keep making exceptions to our general plan because the world has changed around us, and in fact, we don't know, do we want more offices or don't we? Do we want more housing or don't we? If we want more housing, we have to go higher density. How does the community feel about that? If we're going to go higher density, do we pick certain areas to do that rather than having it spread out? For instance, City Center, which has been extremely well done and is where probably our highest density pocket in the city, and is a nice mix of office and residential, and now we'll be adding a new hotel and some retail there. How does that look overall? And since the whole city and the environment, Silicon Valley, the way people do business, and the housing transportation crisis that we have, and the jobs housing imbalance has changed since we did our general plan, that it's time to bring the community and the city council and our government people and education together to take a look at that and see how we make it more current. And I believe that that's probably what our community gathering should be this year, where John had a community congress where we just talked in general about what was going on. The year before that, we did one on diversity. This year, I'd like to suggest that we focus on our general plan and looking as how we update that. How are the changes made in the city, and what do we want to do about that, and how do we make that whole progress happen will be something I'd like to focus on the year that I'm mayor. Also, I think that as we talk about those things, we have to talk about what's going on in our city, and as the rest of the council's talked about, it is a very busy city, and whether you know it or not, there are tons of things going on here. We have a $22 million library to build that the electorate told us they wanted and that we will need to finance and build. We're spending a lot of time looking at a location where that should be, and that committee, which Michael and I co-chair, will be bringing to the city council, we hope, tomorrow night we will be having a meeting, recommendation on where that location should be. In the meantime, those of you that are current in city affairs know that Deke Hunter and Ed Storm have bought the property adjacent to us, the town center property, the 2 blocks between Rodriguez and Pacifica all the way to Dianza. And we are looking at a master plan which includes both the city property, this present library, the city hall, the plaza, and the field, and how that works into the development, which is a mixed-use development, which Hunter Storm are doing, which is housing, office, and retail with a beautiful park in the middle of it, and a very pedestrian-friendly way to move from Civic Center to Town Center, and then, oh my goodness, across the street to City Center, which is where our new hotel and our apartments and our park will be. And we are hoping, as a council, our vision in listening to the community is then we begin to establish a city center, a downtown, if you would have it, that includes all of those elements. And that is really happening now, finally coming, as we've been dealing with and agonizing over it. We met this last week and had a few-hour study session, the staff and the council, with the developers, and it's looking like they're just about ready to bring the plans forth to Steve Piasecki. They're looking very exciting. I think you're all going to like them. You're going to be excited about it, and it's going to be a huge project for the city, requiring a lot of leadership and a lot of collaboration on the part of all of us. I know the Chamber already wants to have their office in Town Center. We have a lot of people already asking for the retail space that's involved in there, and certainly the housing and the office needs we already know about. In addition to that, we have a senior center which is about to open, and I'm very proud, along with Don Burnett, to have been on that committee since the beginning. We're all excited about it. It includes a new community room, which we spent an additional $1 million because, as you know, Quinlan Center is booked a year in advance, and we just don't have enough places to meet. So in addition to all our senior services, and I know Diane Snow's here tonight, the director of the senior center, we're very excited about that building, which sits on Memorial Park and looks out on the lakes and the grassland. It will be a beautiful, exciting addition for the city, and we are hoping that the Chamber of Commerce will use that to open up their Citizen Business of the Year this year to kick off that room. If the weather, cooperates and the timing is right, that would be a wonderful way to open it up. I talked about the new hotel and the apartments in the parkland that are on the corner of Stevens Creek and De Anza. We spent a lot of time with the Planning Commission and with staff, making sure that it is a high-density development, but it is absolutely beautifully designed so that the articulation and the landscape and the way it works with the environment and the way it works with the community provides you with something you can be very proud of and that will be beautiful to look at and that will be very easy to move about. That we hope will be ongoing. I see the developers that are involved with that, Dan Sphere and John Moss are in the audience tonight, that we're hoping that you'll start to see the start of that, unless the weather disagrees with us, very soon. Also, that we have some big pieces of property that you all keep wondering about, Valco, which we keep working on with the Jacobs Group and our redevelopment agency. We are now a little stalled there because somebody has challenged in the legal process of going through a redevelopment agency, a challenge for us, and we have to take time out and address that. We're hoping that it won't go into, and I apologize to the attorneys in the audience, that it won't go too far into the legal field and that we'll be able to come to some decision-making, because the people that are challenging it are very much in favor of affordable housing, and a redevelopment agency gives 20% to affordable housing. So we're hoping we can come to some agreement on that. And compact the land, the dirt lot on Stevens Creek, and I know that we have representatives here from Compact tonight, and I keep telling them to think skate park, because I just know that we are going to collaborate with them on a location for our new skate park. And they are coming forth with a nice smile. That's a good smile. I'm glad to see that. That they are going to come forth with a very nice mixed-use development also, whereby we can enable them to have the office space they want in the community. In turn, we'll get some housing and some retail and some beautiful walkability, pedestrian-friendly area. And we will start to bring all those units of the community together so that we have something that we can all wander from place to place, that we don't have to go in our car and drive from the Oaks to City Center, that we have a walkable place or a rollerblading place or a biking place that beckons you to do that, that welcomes you to do that, that makes you want to do that, so that we can get out of our cars, get to know each other, have a place to shop and to visit, a safe place, of course, because we have a very safe city that we can all enjoy. Those are just a few of the things that are on our plate. So you can see our new staff, which we're very excited about, is kept very, very, very busy, as is this council. And before I finish, I would like to also say thank you to my family, because Richard is very, very right about this. And I have been in public office for 11 years now, because I was 8 years on the school board, 3 years here. And you cannot do this job without the help and support of your family. And so I would like to introduce my family tonight, and you don't have to stand up if you don't want to, because I was lectured about this. But my lovely daughter, Amber, is here tonight. Thank you, Amber, for coming. My son, Justin, is here. And my very best friend in the whole world, who is a part of my family, Michael Lashin. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for your continued support. And now that we have all had our say, it's your chance to come up and say anything you would like. So anyone that has anything they would like to add to this evening, please come forward to the podium, identify yourself, and join the party.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Rich.
This is from all the lawyers in the room. Right, Chuck? Right. Actually, this is a little token of good luck for me. And I've got to go see a client, unfortunately, so I will have to.
Okay. Oh, this
Well,
will be
that's
interesting.
the part I don't know if I can cause you any pain.
Sean, get good pictures of this, please.
Yeah, I need some help here.
Amber could help.
Amber? Yeah,
Can you help me? Can you help me pin this on
I
here?
think he's afraid.
All right. I don't want to hurt your mom here.
I'm not so good at this, actually. I'm not good at pins. Excuse me, Mom.
This is very dangerous.
It
I
is,
hope I hope
actually.
she likes me still.
Should have
Yeah.
brought, you had me more lapel tonight.
Uh-oh.
Actually, I think I brought the right thing.
Okay.
Did they know that my favorite flower is a gardenia? Do you think anybody knew that?
Now watch that. We'll
It's
prepare
okay.
it later.
It's a gardenia.
There we go.
All right. Well, good luck.
Absolutely.
All right, I got to run.
It's a good
Very,
name.
very,
Okay.
very, very much.
All right.
You don't, gardenia's not your favorite
No.
flower? You have roses or something?
Are you next?
I'm next.
Do you want to stay or leave?
I have to kick the council reports out of the way. I should stand on them, I'd look a little taller. That may not be a bad idea. My name is Bill Jones. I'm here. I'm the president of the Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here representing the Chamber. A lot of our board members are here, partially to honor Sandy tonight, and of course Richard, and partially for the free food that is located right outside those doors. So I promised I wouldn't talk too long so they could all get out there quickly. It certainly won't be like one of your council reports. John asked me to say that.
It's true.
First of all, I want to thank John, our outgoing mayor, for being very supportive of the Chamber of Commerce and the business community in Cupertino. And as was mentioned by a lot of his colleagues on the council today and by others, certainly stressing teamwork and community. I think that's very important, and we certainly are supportive of that. So thank you very much for your hard work, John.
Thank you.
And the other thing I'm here to talk about tonight, of course, is our new mayor, Sandra James. We're very excited to be part of this evening, and as mentioned in some of Sandy's brief discussion just now, hopefully we'll have a lot of opportunity to work with her this coming year and in future years. Some of the things that we've worked with her on, as she mentioned, include the Teen Leadership Program. We've worked a little bit on some of our business education link issues, and of course on the Economic Development Department and putting that group together. So we're very excited to continue those, and looking forward to being part of that. And we have a little something for you right now that we won't be pinning on you.
Beautiful. Gosh, these are beautiful.
This is from the chamber.
Okay.
Just on TV.
Friendly chamber.
These are beautiful. I never had so many flowers in my life. These are gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you, Chamber. I think one of the strengths of this city is that all the different parts of the city work so well together. When I came on city council, I wasn't aware, for instance, and Michael probably joins me on this, I just assumed that all school districts and cities worked very closely together. That's not true. Actually, often, they're competing for similar dollars, and they are not in a partnership mode. They're more in an antagonistic mode. And the Chamber, actually, that's true in many cases, too. So I think we are very blessed that we all work so well together. We have a lot of partnerships with the Chamber of Commerce, and Linda Asbury certainly is a wonderful leader of that chamber. And all of us work together with education, with law enforcement, with the fire district, which, by the way, Chief Spore Leader, thank you for coming this evening also, and also with the social service agencies. I think that that's one of the things that makes this community very strong, is that people are working together because it is a community of a lot of different aspects, and it won't work in isolation. So it's very nice that the Chamber acknowledges that. Thank you for coming, and thank you for giving these to us. Is there anyone else who wants to come forward?
Yes, here we go. As my mother knows, I'm not fond of public speaking and not nearly as good at it as she is, but I had not planned on doing this, but as I was sitting here, I realized that there are some things I've never said to my mother, and my brother's jumping and itching to get out of here. So I asked him to stay for another minute because this whole journey actually started about 16 years ago when my very professional and corporate mother came to me and told me that after 15 years, I was finally going to have a brother or a sister. And she said that basically she would stay home for a few months and then, make her way back to her career in psychology and other various pursuits. And she never made it back. My brothers changed all of our lives, but the reason that she did this, her first stint in public service was as a science volunteer at Justin's preschool when he was about 2 years old, because she went in and decided that there were not sufficient science programs in any of our schools in Cupertino, and proceeded to take that project on, as she does so well, and completely transform anything that existed before her. And then it sort of grew into her stint on the school board. And I just wanted to let her know that since I was 4 years old, she's really been my sole parent. And she's been an incredible role model for me. And she's taught me to do a couple things that are very important. And I respect her political career so far because she's taught me to really stand up for what you believe in. And even when it's not a popular opinion, which I seem to have frequently, if you're passionate about it, to really, make things happen and stand up for what you believe in and stick by it. And I've seen her do that for this community many times. And although we don't always have her around when we want her, I'm very proud of her and all that she's accomplished. And I respect her mostly for the way that she started this endeavor so many years ago.
Not a bad job, huh? Is there anyone else who would like the microphone?
Bill, want to have champagne?
Done.
Yeah, there's somebody here tonight I would like to recognize who is going to be retiring very soon, who has been for many years our effective police chief. There he is, Bob Wilson. Thanks so much for the service you've given us over all these years.
Hi, I see some people snuck in. We didn't see you. Please
Yes.
welcome our new 5th District Supervisor, Liz Ness.
Thank you, Sandy. But I'm really here tonight as the mayor of Palo Alto with our vice mayor, who could be a potential mayor. There's no telling. This is Sandy Akins, and we came to bring you greetings from the northernmost city in this particular district, and honor all of you this evening, especially you, Sandy, and Richard, for the roles you're going to be playing this next year. You make a big difference in this community, in this city, and in our county. And we congratulate you and wish you the very best. Have fun with it, and it sounds like you will.
And I want to tell you what a pleasure it is to share this lovely event with you. It's very nice to be in someone else's chambers and to see a friendly crowd. So this has been a very nice experience, and best wishes to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Certainly. Thank you. And we will be collaborating with Palo Alto as we have in the past, so I look forward to working with you and working with you, Liz, on the county.
Talk?
Please.
Okay. I attend high school at Monte Vista, and I serve on the skate park committee that was mentioned earlier. And I just want to say that working with the mayor and the vice mayor, I've seen so many great things, and you can just tell that they really care, you know. They do a really great job integrating the teen community and just supporting programs that really help us out. And they give us a voice. You know, it's not like, oh, you guys are just kids. We don't care what you say. You don't know what you're talking about. They really listen to what we have to say, and so I appreciate that. And I hear you're talking about the Teen Academy and the Teen Job Fair, and frankly, I'm really excited about that. And on behalf of the teen community, I would just like to say thank you very much, and good luck to all of you for the upcoming year.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, see, with teens like that, how can you not help but get excited about working with them? Thank you very much. They're really a neat group. Our skateboard committee has been meeting twice a month for at least a year now, probably longer, and they faithfully come to every meeting. People said they wouldn't do that. Oh, teens won't do that. They won't stick to it. Well, it's not true. Not true at all. Anybody else? Then I have this legal requirement to say if there's anybody in the audience that would like to speak to anything not on the agenda. Oh, good. So we are going to adjourn to a reception in the lobby. And if
No
you
council reports?
Oh, no council reports. No council reports tonight, John. We thank you very, very much for coming this evening and sharing this with us. It's really nice to know that there are those of you that care and want to be an active part of this community. And keep in touch and keep an eye on us, you know, because we need the help. We will be having some pictures taken here, so we'll be delayed ourselves a little bit, but we'll join you shortly. I'm going to adjourn this meeting.
Thank you, everybody.